Sam, it's great to have you back. Congrats. I think a lot of your personal wealth is tied up in this fundraise. To what do you attribute your ability to garner a higher valuation now, given the slump in crypto trading and prices?
Well, thanks. I mean, part of it is we've just, kept on building. We've been building out our backing capacity, our front end experience, our product base, our partnerships, and our market share all continue to go up, month over month. And so we've been excited to see that happening, to keep pushing forward. I also think, frankly, that it's a better market environment for private companies than for publicly listed ones right now.
Really? So could you elaborate on that? Because Coinbase is down considerably. They're still valued more largely than yours, let's say $40 billion. Obviously, they have U.S. market share, but a small portion of global market share. Why do you think the public markets are punishing them while the private markets are rewarding you?
Yeah, so I mean, I think one piece of this is looking at our really sustained growth in market share over the last few years. We've been the fastest growing exchange by far, and have been excited to keep doing that. But I think another piece of this is you look at the difference between a lot of the sell-off that you've seen in public markets compared to the money that you've seen flowing into venture funds, into the private market. And I think you see a little bit of a divergence in performance broadly between those.
Just because I think the viewers would be very interested to hear this, take us back to the first day of 2021. What was the value of your company, of FTX, then?
Oh, boy. I mean, I think we'd raised somewhat recently at a $1 billion valuation, and we're sort of testing the waters about what our next raise would be.
So you were at $1 billion little more than a year ago. And as a result of this raise today, your valuation is?
It's $32 billion internationally and $8 billion in the U.S.
How old is your company?
About 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Okay, let's talk about let's talk about the future. What gives you the confidence that your company will be the preeminent player or a preeminent player, one of the two or three best, biggest crypto exchanges in the world? What gives you that degree of certainty?
Yeah, I mean, I think part of this has just been continuing to see us, perform well on a large number of fronts. I think one piece of this has been, continuing to grow market share amongst large institutional players globally. I think another piece of this has been, continuing to work constructively with regulators, both, in the States and abroad, getting licenses in a large number of jurisdictions. Mm-hmm. And, building out our institutional partnerships, building out our brand. And I think putting all of that together, it's been, I think I've been really excited to see it grow. I think that I've started to feel more confident that it's not just sort of restricted to one domain in which we can operate effectively.
So two quick final questions. Why base your operations in Nassau, apart from lovely weather? And what happens if Tom Brady retires?
Yeah, so we have a U.S. base in Chicago, which doesn't have quite as lovely of weather this time of year. But internationally, it's in Nassau. And, basically, it's one of the few countries in the world that has rolled out a comprehensive cryptocurrency regulatory regime with a licensing scheme for exchanges. That's really important for the industry. It's been a huge step forward. And we really like being in a place where we have that oversight. As for Brady, only he can speculate on. Well, I speculate. Only he can speak on what his future plans are.
Yeah.
But I will say that I know that our intramural team could use a new quarterback.